Welcome to GHOSTWATCH2016. The three of us are watching Kamen Rider Ghost. My name is Coriander Dickinson. I've seen a bunch of Kamen Rider.
My name is Heather Deary. I have seen this Kamen Rider.
My name is Kate Stark, reporting from the field as the foremost Sentai expert in the world.
You were the Kamen Rider expert.
Yeah, I've seen.
I mean, this is kind of Sentai, but it's not.
I've seen
This
all
is
the
tokusatsu.
Sentai. I've seen all the Sentai and all the Kamen Rider that exists in the world. I've done some homework since last episode.
And how's your Godzilla and Gamera? How about Ultraman?
Oh, that's this weekend?
Yeah, okay.
Hit me up next time.
This is episode 28. Extreme
Power
Power
of
of
the
the Deep.
I had written down, oh damn, Extreme Power of the Deep, and thought that was the name of the episode. I was like, that doesn't seem on brand for them. I got confused.
We were just so jazzed at the title. We were just like, oh snap.
No, I was jazzed because there's 60 days left.
All right.
Time passed since the last episode.
But, Kate, what happened last time?
Last time there were fire boys. There were latex boys. There were so many boys.
There was only one boy on fire.
There was a fire boy. There were latex boys.
There were too many latex boys.
There were too many beautiful boys. What happened this time, though? Where do we start?
There's the room that Snow White hangs out in by herself often.
Snow White is his sister,
And
if you forgot.
She's just being like, my brothers, I'm saying their names and thinking about them.
Well, you know, Snow White, it's in her tower, and she really feels everything.
Snow
Snow
White
White
in
doesn't
her
have
tower.
a tower.
You know,
That's-
she's experimenting with other fairy tales.
Sleeping
so, like,
Beauty,
Rapunzel,
Rapunzel.
and stuff.
You picked the one without a tower.
Rapunzel.
No, Snow
No,
White.
you.
I said she was trying out different fairy tales. I didn't say that she had a tower, except she does now.
Also, can we just talk about how strongly I identify with Sleeping Beauty? Not the beauty part, but the
Just
sleeping
Aurora.
part.
Oh.
Yeah.
100 years of sleep, still not enough.
Not enough.
The first time I saw a spinning wheel, I was just like, where's the bit that I can hurt myself on?
To fall asleep forever?
Yes. Is that not like your deepest, darkest desire to just hurt yourself on a spinning wheel?
And then
What, like-
sleep for 100 years?
Darkest is in the lights are out because my eyes closed.
Yeah, you're just unconscious, dreamless sleep.
I'm going to go home and nap
And then
after
you
this.
wake up because the perfect person has entered your life, and you still have the option to hurt yourself again, to go back to sleep.
That
You
sounds
get-
really
you get
dope, actually.
A good smooch, and then you can just go back to sleep.
Just smooch a person real quick and then take another nap. And then by the time you wake up, they're dead.
Yeah.
So you get somebody else.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Oh,
that seems fine.
this is like the perfect life.
Just an ageless, dreamless slumber. Because she was asleep for 100 years, and then
God, I'm so jealous of
she
her
just
now.
doesn't age.
I've never been jealous of a fairy tale, but I am super jealous of this woman.
And you know what? She wakes up and she looks perfect. Her makeup does not move around in her sleep. Her makeup stays on perfectly.
She woke up
She
like
does
that.
have a thick layer of dust, though. They don't discuss that very much in the
He
fairy
power
tales.
wash her.
Prince Charming rolls up, and he's just like, just gonna wipe this off a bit. Just gonna
Let me just steam clean you real quick.
before my lip contact.
Let's do a dunk in some OxyClean, and then I'll give you a smooch.
Okay, so clearly the two of you do not know, but maid services exist. We get them to come in and make sure that place is dusted.
But
so
the
you don't
castle
wake
was
up in dirt.
cursed. The castle was cursed. All of the help also asleep.
You hired the mice from Cinderella. I'm sure they can get in.
So is this when we announce our Disney rewatch podcast?
Can we do a Disney rewatch podcast?
Yeah.
Yay!
Let's finish Kamen Rider Ghost first.
and future Kamen Riders and all the other things. We gotta watch Riverdale.
Yes.
Okay, so
Man,
White
we went
Sister,
really off track.
and then we cut to the scene where Pretty Boy is cradling his father's ashes, and Taco is angry, and Fireboy is on fire, and Sweaty Emperor is like, okay, you two suck. I'm gonna kill you.
And then all the things happen. All the icons come out and build some kind of wall in front of Taco Time and attack Fireboy with fire.
Yeah, shoots fire
So-
at Fireboy.
Fireboy charged up a mega attack and shot fire at Taco, and the icon wall formed just in time to reflect it. So
Like-
that was Fireboy's body being reflected off this wall.
It's like using Genji's alt fire.
Yes.
Yeah, but then Fireboy got a logo and then turned into metal muscles.
Okay.
Fireboy turned off. The
fire turned off. The
Fire-
fire was extinguished.
The fire manifested itself in a different form,
No.
such as spiky metal muscles that were real big and had braids for some reason.
Like
There's
attaching-
ropey braids. They're like what, epaulets? They're like a military
Yeah,
loop.
sort
on-
of.
on-
Except
Except the shoulders are larger than a basketball. Like
yes.
they're real big.
Yeah.
Yoked.
He
I hate
he's swole.
Yeah.
I'd say he's more than swole. He is
Over
exactly
swole.
what Corey said. Yoked.
Like he doesn't really have traps, but it's just shoulders and then a tiny head in the middle. But
He's essentially a Dorito. If you put
he does have Guy Fieri hair. I was trying to
Yeah.
identify what his hair is because his hair is
But metal.
also fire and metal fused, but it's like spiky hair.
imagine John Cena, Guy Fieri, metal, fire, part dad, all dad, smushed together. That is this gnome.
Part dad, all dad. You can
Smushed.
have part dad and all dad.
Part wolf, part knives, part dad, all dad.
Okay,
Knife dad,
knife dad.
fire.
But imagine
Fireboy.
that. Yeah.
So in my mind, like there's a symbol on his chest that's kind of like a fire leaf, which makes me think, or like a fire feather, which makes me think he's like Phoenix themed.
Interesting.
But that doesn't explain what he looks
That
like.
doesn't explain anything else about him.
No,
Just
no.
like the fire aspect and the dissolving and reforming that he does a lot.
No, I get it now. It's if the Phoenix thing. If you go Final Fantasy on it, it makes complete sense.
So his name
Phoenix-
is Phoenix Down.
Phoenix, right?
Phoenix, right? Naruhodo.
Keep going.
Sorry for jokes.
Sometimes we
Yes.
get lost in our own
We then-
moles.
We then.
Oh yes, I also have a note that he looks like the Statue of Liberty a little, but just a little.
But you know what? Who doesn't?
Who doesn't these days? Not in this show. So Taco goes grateful mode.
We then move over to Snapple HQ, where we've got Onari, Akari, and Cannon and QB sitting around the table, worrying about Taco Time and whether or not he's found Makoto. But QB is super upset. He walks off with a painting left on the table. And both Onari and Akari look at it and they're like, it's so good though. It's like very accurate.
The part I loved about the scene is that like they're all kind of down and in a slump, and they do this kind of 3-shot thing where it's like Akari dips her head and it makes like a sound effect. So it's like, "Mwah," and then Onari does that into like his tea, and then QB just like slams his face onto the table just very violently before he leaves. He's just like, "Mwah, mwah, wham!"
Those are kind of the sounds that he makes, by the way. Wow. 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 We're now at the business building. I don't know what we've called it.
Business building.
We're at the business building, and we're on the stage where the Deep Connect Demia project presentation is happening. Steamy Punk Man is sitting in the audience, and Music Gnome is on the stage performing musics.
And Steampunk Man hates it.
Yeah, he's just like pooping on everything.
He
that
keeps calling it garbage and trash, and it sounds very nice.
And he rips it up.
He rips up the sheet music. He's pooping on everything that Music Gnome is making, and it
And
all
it's-
sounds amazing. It's all like
It's actual real classical music. He just like goes through a bunch of classical stuff.
like some Beethoven, some Mozart, some
We can't actually identify what they are. We don't know.
no. We
guessing.
sound smart if we say it's Beethoven and
Vivaldi.
Mozart, Bach,
It's, I don't know,
Batch.
maybe some Schubert in there.
Offenbach,
Offenbach.
Rachmaninoff,
It's all very classical.
Gershwin, George Gershwin. Meet George Gershwin.
George Washington.
So mad at you.
I'm really surprised that you found Rachmaninoff funny. Like, you don't know that's a real name, do you?
No, I do. But the way you said it was very good. I'm mad at you for putting the Jetsons theme song in my head.
So the music that Music Gnome here is supposed to be playing is supposed to be something that will be unveiled at the opening of whatever project they're working on.
No, it's for the unveiling of the Damia project. It's just the intro music for the announcement. That's Steampunk sinister plan. Like the whole thing where I thought like maybe there's an artistic slump because this gnome has magic powers with the ghost science.
He just
and it's just like no.
kept screaming. He's like, this isn't majestic enough to show my brilliantness to the world.
Yeah, this is well because this is
so
coming
petty.
This is coming from a man who really wants to see this thing in a very specific vision, and he's not getting what he wants.
This isn't spectacular enough for my ego.
But it's like if you manifest a gnome that is purely for music and you're not getting the music you want, I can understand being upset. But at the same time, if you're not giving good directions, I don't expect the music gnome to like
maybe
satisfy.
He should try a different type of music gnome. He's clearly brought forth the classic music gnome, and maybe he needs to try the hip-hop music gnome.
Or the techno.
I don't want to see the hip-hop music gnome.
I do.
It's just like, oh man, and you kill him and there's a tape deck and an icon.
Give me that gnome. I want that episode.
Really? Not a Walkman?
It's just a cassette or a turntable or something. Something really wrong.
Oh my god, you know what it would be? It would be a turntable like on the side of his head
Oh
that spins.
no.
Yes.
And he would throw records.
Creators of Kamen Rider, because we know you're listening.
Yep.
The next season, if you could have a hip-hop gnome.
And he scratches his head and it creates like lightning shock waves. It's like a distance attack.
Yes.
Like the other music.
Yes.
But it's just like
We're giving this to you guys for free. Okay?
We know you need some ideas sometimes, we can tell, and it's okay. We understand being in a slump, particularly after this episode.
It's a good segue back into the episode.
Well, we got all this going on. There's still the fighting happening in Gnome Hell. Taco Time has Nobunaga comes out on its own. And there's gun ghosts around him firing.
Yeah.
At Fireboy? Muscle Man.
Phoenix muscles.
Phoenix muscles. Phoenix down. I can't remember
Muscle
what we're
right.
calling. Muscle right. And then while that's going on, Taco Time grabs Pretty Boy and they get away. Because this was not going to be the time to fight.
Yeah, Pretty Boy is like catatonic.
He's very upset.
And then we cut back to more problems with Steamy Punk's music show.
He's gone from playing the piano to just conducting now.
He's conducting no one though. Like there's a bit of a pit, and he's just standing there waving a baton, and there's music.
Music is still happening though.
But music is coming out from out of him. Basically, is what's happening here. Like he can play the piano, but no, he's just gonna make music come from inside of him. He didn't need to play the piano.
Steamy Punk Man's still screaming though.
Still ripping things up.
Yup.
Angry Steamy Man.
We're back at the temple. We're at the temple bell, and QB is outside painting it, and he's upset because he is painting it accurately.
Realistically and not cubist.
Not cubist.
Cubist.
I mean, they can't call him Accurate Man. His name's QB.
So he crumples up his piece of paper with his accurate representation of the bell, throws it on the ground, and Okari and Inari run out, and they're like, no, this is really good. Like, don't be upset. This is realistic, and it's good. And QB's just not having it.
He's like, oh no, the slump that you defined earlier.
It's his new favorite word.
I can kind of relate with him. Like, if you've been working on a project that you're like, this is not what I want, but it's like it's still good and other people like it, it's still not what you wanted.
Yeah, I understand. I would be angry too.
I just don't like the fact that they're like, oh, your work got better, and like, no, it's a different style.
Yeah, and he's like, what should I do to fix it? And they're like, we can't cure this problem for you.
But sometimes a change of pace can help. So then they, QB and Cannon are walking down by the river, having a nice little stroll. QB keeps talking about how he's down in the dumps, and he's in a slump. He turns. And who's there?
There's like this little mournful classical tinkling, and then there's Music Gnome with a toy piano.
A teeny
like 3 feet away from them. 3 feet away from them.
Teeny grand piano. And they startle each other, QB and composer gnome. We don't know what we're calling them. QB's just like, I just want to paint. And composer gnome's like, I just want to make music. And there was just this moment between them. It was really cute.
It's like they grabbed each other by the lapels and they were shaking each other.
Like they were fighting and then realized that they were feeling the same things.
I want to point out here, we have not seen Tiny Table Friends in a long time. I think they've canceled that.
It might just be on hiatus.
But canon has clearly gone on Gnome Adventures with just these two gnomes. That's going to be an okay series, I think. Especially when we get to the part where that's going to be awesome later.
Spoilers.
I don't want to be down on it now.
Yeah, I know. You were pretty down on it when we saw it the first time. You were just like, no, they canceled Tiny Table Friends. And we were like, what the hell, Heather? We're watching a show.
And you still wrote it in your notes.
When you watch your favorite show, Tiny Table Friends, and then you realize that it's gone because they've replaced it by something else, you have to mourn a little.
The fact that Tiny Table Friends is your favorite show is saying something.
That show doesn't exist.
It's a good detective show, Corey. It was a little episodic, but it was good. Had strong characters.
A little episodic?
So they have a bonding moment where they're just like, oh man, we don't have to fight. And QB reveals the secret to solving a slump is a change of pace.
I believe you, Corey, said that you expected them to change art at this point. Like,
yeah, I
one would
expected
try
them to
music
be like,
and
yeah, that
the
would
other
have
do
been
painting.
a fun little romp.
Yeah, would have been a good little
A
segment.
fun little romp. We're back in Gnome Hell. Taco is like carrying Pretty Boy. He can't move. He can barely walk. And Snow White's sister appears and says, follow me.
Well, it's like, are you Makoto's friend? What happened to Pretty Boy?
She doesn't talk
My
like
father
that.
is dead.
She does not talk like that.
Your father died saving Pretty Boy.
What are these accents?
Oh no, my father.
Are you Inigo Montoya all of a sudden?
You'll be discovered. Yes. I'm Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Thank you. You uncovered my secret. Now I'm free and I don't have to make the voice anymore. But I will still.
Yeah, you're stuck with that. That you know.
Oh, come with me if you want to live.
Anyways, so she says, follow me. Oh,
You want to
jeez.
leave?
No, stop. I'm so mad.
And dun dun dun, Military Gramps is looking. I don't know why that's so sinister.
I mean, it's pretty sinister.
He's just sitting in the shadows.
And he just goes,
And as they're leaving, they get encountered by a bunch of gnomes.
And Snow White tells Taco Time to leave with Pretty Boy because she's going to take care of this. Which would have been a great place to have a transformation for her, even though she
I wonder if
doesn't
she
get
looks
one.
like that Lady Night gnome, like Saber.
oh, I liked Saber.
Ooh, I would like that. I could go with Snow White being Saber.
Because Sweat Emperor looked like Battle Cat, which is kind of a cool outfit, which is pretty sleek and
I mean,
understated. And
I
Saber
assume
was,
they can
was
all
nice.
transform.
Yeah,
They should be able to.
they're royalty.
Yeah.
All royalty can transform.
It was pretty nice, though. She just let Taco and PB leave. I think she's cool.
And not evil.
I kind of always got the vibe that she wasn't fully evil.
Yeah.
She was going along with what Dad wanted, and because what Thick Dad wanted seemed kind of evil, she was just going along with that. But then because Thick Dad was like, no, I was wrong, she's still just with Thick Dad.
But you always assume that in situations like this where there's politicking and whatnot, that the children of the emperor are also kind of running their own games.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the assumption that she's also trying to seize power or control things. But at the same time, she seems kind of altruistic.
I don't think she wants anyone in her family to die is the thing.
She's like the only one wearing white as well.
Right. And
that's-
not a military uniform,
And not a
really.
military
Yeah.
uniform, yeah.
Unless she's wearing one under that cape.
I kind of doubt it. Like,
Yeah.
we've always seen her since the very beginning wearing that white cloak.
I also doubt it, but I just thought that if a scene shows up where she just like her white cloak goes away and there's like this amazing military outfit underneath that's like stark white. That'd be real
That would be
cool.
so dope. No, I think we like Snow White sister.
Back at the riverside,
Onari and Akari are walking along and they see Canon having her adventures with gnomes and they're just kind of like, that's weird. But they don't Isn't QB a fugitive? What's going on with Music Gnome?
they seem to be
fine.
getting along.
Yeah, I guess it's
just
okay.
calm. And then dun dun dun
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun.
Steampunk Man encounters the situation. He's unhappy because Music Gnome is supposed to be composing for him.
Yeah, screams at all of them.
Gets real stompy.
I hate employers who don't let you have proper breaks.
My employer's the worst. It's me. And then Music Gnome is just like, I just want to compose the music that I want to compose.
It's just like, QB and Music Gnome are kindred spirits. Let them do what they want.
And Steamy Man's like, ugh, defective. I will become Knife Knife.
And then just
He pulls out this icon.
transforms.
He clicks the icon, and the icon's like, knife.
It literally just says that.
Knife.
In
and then
English.
Loading. Like, it's really grunty.
And then we see Knife.
And we were happy because it's like broad daylight. It's just like,
And it's
this
such
is
a
stupid
dumb outfit.
outfit.
Akari runs in front of all of them and is like, no, wait, I got it. And then takes out her, like, glitter gun.
Yeah.
And then shoots Knife. And it doesn't work.
Because Knife deflects it with his knives.
Yeah.
And then, oh, this is my favorite, though. Music Gnome attacks using music. And then we lose sound on the episode.
Because his power is taking sound away.
So
That's all he can do.
everyone's
And then-
talking, and the subtitles are like, we're talking. Why isn't there sound?
There's even
I
like a
don't know.
Urisen being like, this is ineffective.
And the only time Urisen shows up in the entire episode is to be like, this sucks.
But it's like they're up on a pathway with one of those like riverbank situations, and Music Gnome has fallen down the hill because everyone got hit. And so Knife walks down the embankment and comes and punches him to make to make sound come back. It's just the most useless thing.
Yeah, Onari wants QB to paint him because that would help, but QB's got a slump and he can't do it. So Onari is like, fine, then I will defend everything, in which we have the knife coming up towards Onari, and I think we all mentally were like, oh, he's gonna do the cut face thing again.
It's gonna be comedy.
I just really didn't want that. Also, I really like the phrase, QB has a slump.
It does. Yeah.
I believe we are back in Gnome Hell now. The gnomes then find...
Yeah. There is a knife arm descending towards Onari and his monk staff. Cut. Gnome hell.
Gnome Hell.
Like, not cut Onari, cut film to next scene.
Cut to scene in Gnome Hell. The generic gnomes find Pretty Boy and Taco. Taco transforms. Beethoven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always Beethoven.
Booster Juice Beethoven.
Oh, right. I forgot he went boost.
Booster Beethoven.
So PB is unconsciously just standing there, and Taco is trying to fend off the hordes while still protecting PB from getting slashed. So he's taking some in the back.
Meanwhile, at the river.
Onari's about to get his face cut.
By a giant knife.
But Eminem shows up and saves him from Steampunk because OTP.
Oh yeah, I forgot that we loved them. It was kind of cute. Military Man shows up, transforms, fights Steamy Punk Man. Like,
Well, he shows up
transforms him.
in Battle Cat format
Yeah.
and blocks the shot, and then transforms because he like totally wrecks Steamy Punk. He just knocks the knife out of him.
One shot at him.
Yeah.
And then turns around, walks up to Onari and says, "Consider us even." And then, because Onari, in like an episode or two ago, like fed him and gave him some food
And gave
made
him the Shiki sticker.
yeah, and fixed him when he was all weak. And then he just takes off.
And then Akari
Akari, dear sweet Akari.
Oh, God, this was so good.
confronts KMS, her rival.
Confronts scientist Steamy Punk Man and was just like, they have hearts. Why don't you value them? Why? No. And then
You're not a scientist. Scientists wouldn't hurt people.
slaps him straight across
really,
the face.
really hard slap.
In which Urison shows up again to be like, oh, look at that mark.
Urison pops up next to Steamy Punk's head so that we get a shot of like the red handprint that they put on his face. And it's just like this little puppet, like an inch away from someone's face, being like, look at this.
So dumb. But we were
like,
pretty happy
Akari
with the
is
slap.
like in tears, raging at this guy for
Because-
being an asshole.
and being a poor scientist.
And again, remember, this is all just because Stevie Punk wants music for his show.
It's the most petty argument. Like, this whole episode is just so petty.
She asks, Akari goes over to Onari and is like, why did Eminem come and save us. And Onari's very proud and like, charity and things and friendship. And I totally am not going out with him.
And then
He is.
QB and Music Gnome are like, well, we've got a thing we want to talk about. Cut.
Meanwhile, in Gnome Hell.
Taco's getting slashed in the back repeatedly.
Yeah. Yeah, that was not good. But then who runs up? Spectre. Spectre. And then Spectre transforms. And they fight everybody. Both of them transform. We have Taco is Billy the Kid. Spectre is Nobunaga.
The boost Billy the Kid did not look as bad as a lot of other things.
No, it was like brown on red, which was
is
fine.
saying
I mean,
something.
Billy the Kid is the most hideous thing on the
on its
planet,
own.
so
It
it looked better.
Better with red than it did orange.
Yes. Which you'd expect orange and brown to work a little better, but...
I think red and brown are just very kind of similar tones.
So Spectre saves the day, and we cut to the three of them later in some ruins, in like a busted-out warehousey type thing, and they make PB just sit on a pile of rubble.
Mm-hmm. Makoto's yelling at PB for not reacting and not doing things, but Pretty Boy's like, no, I don't have anything because I don't have a dad now, but I also don't have a heart like you people do. And Makoto just like friendship punches him in the face.
He's like, don't you remember I told you I believe in you?
Friendship punch.
Yeah. Pretty Boy, basically everything Pretty Boy believes in is gone. Like his dad is gone. His perfect utopia is obviously not a perfect utopia. The friendship punch was interesting.
But we told you that's a thing that happens.
Yep.
Especially between boys in these kinds of shows.
Yeah, so even though Pretty Boy is super weak, Spectre punches him to the ground.
Taco-tan walks up and he's like, no, you've got a heart. Look, you're in pain. That proves you've got a heart.
And then there's an explosion.
Explosion.
PB's having a realization.
No, the actual explosion is that Sweat Emperor and Phoenix Latex Man have showed up in the distance to confront them.
Yeah, as that's happening, the camera is very focused on PB and his eyes are getting wide like, oh god, I've realized a thing.
And then
we have a flashback of every time he said something awful to anyone else.
With dope techno music.
It's just like, my perfect utopia, you people are defective. Just like all of the things that we've been seeing Sweat Emperor say and KMS say.
We have this music just rising up in the background, and then when the flashbacks are done, he stands up and screams,
I finally understand! And then all three of them transform at the same time.
Yeah, and he's like, the world is not a utopia. I can't forgive you for this. It was amazing. The tri-transform was very good.
Yeah, so we've got the Grateful Soul, Spectre, and Necrom all going, and they're Necrom and Spectre run out to go fight, and so does Grateful Soul, except he doesn't get to run.
He pauses and he gets like a kind of like an impulse on him, and then we flash into another space where he's like floating and falling towards the like prayer tablets from the prayer room, and one of them is missing, but the rest of them form like a lightning force field that block him, and then he is on lightning.
And then he can't move physically.
Prayer tablets used paralyze.
Super effective.
Spectre and Necrom are fighting
Phoenix
Down by themselves, and they both use like their Omega Drive kicks, and it doesn't work. Like they just like bounce off, and they're like, oh no, it's very strong.
Necrom draws an eye portal so that they can escape, and they land on a beach.
They get like blown through with an explosion.
Taco-tan is not transformed anymore, but he could still not moving, not doing well. And we get a cut quickly to Gramps in the
monolith basement
being, oh no, the Gaiden misers.
He's just like, this is very bad.
Makoto realizes that now is the time to unleash Deep Spectre.
Because they got followed by Phoenix Down to that
All the
beach.
gnomizers appear on the beach.
It's not good. It's time to dive to deep and gaze into this.
I will master it.
Yeah, because if you recall, there was a flashback, and it's when Gramps was showing him the
Deep Spectre, the little
purple
fire icon.
Yeah, and was like, basically Taco needs to master this. There is something dreadful inside of this, a dreadful
Yeah,
evil
and
power.
pretty much only Taco could do this. I mean, I totally intend to just give it to Taco.
But Spectre has it. Spectre looks at it and he's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to master it. So he uses it.
There's lots of purple fire.
There's lots of purple fire
Eyes
surrounding
open
him.
to the limit.
Also that.
Gotta go hellbent.
He goes to a purple fire dimension.
He does. And he looks terrified.
And this jacket is just like circling him like a shark.
So it's like a purple jacket. It has these sort of flames coming out of the shoulders and also the face.
Yeah, speaking of the
But
face.
they're white.
Twin chin beards. We were super worried about the face.
It was weird.
The flames coming out of the face, kind of like horns, were initially coming out of the neck. And then in practice, they came out of the top of the head. So it was better.
It was okay. We didn't have to avert our gaze. It's one of those you can't unsee it. It's like, oh no, they're coming out of the chest. And then when it was real, it was not
But then
bad.
when the jacket went onto his body, his undersuit changed. Like his bodysuit was normally black and blue. It was then white and blue. Star patterns sort of all over it.
The blue
Specifically
lines
on-
make like jaggedy patterns, and there's specifically he's got star thighs.
Half a star is on each thigh, so when his thighs are together, it creates a large
If,
star.
if he just,
Just
keep his
right
legs
below his
together,
crotch.
you'd be able to see a star.
Yeah, just a huge...
What was that
Crotch
sentence?
star.
If he was able to keep his legs together, you'd be able to see his star. Like, really? Why did I say that?
Because it's true.
It is
It's
true.
like right in the thigh gap. There's a star. Yeah, and so he's got like the flames on the shoulders, and he's got like jaggedy metal blade type
He's
attachments
a
to his
spiky boy.
arms and
Yeah.
legs.
And thankfully
And
no flame
head.
chin because
And there's
it's
no
the
flame
horns.
chin. He's just got two horns that
Do-
are jaggedy.
Do you wanna
Lightning
talk
face.
Do you want to talk
He has
about
a gun.
weapon?
He has a space gun.
What-
He's got a blue and red space gun.
What is the defining feature on that gun?
It has sunglasses.
Yep.
But here's the thing. Now, I was quite proud of this pun. It's not sunglasses slasher like the sword, but more gun glasses slasher.
Now we aren't given the gun's name in this episode, but I'm sure we will get it next time.
And if it's not gun glasses slasher, we're gonna call it gun glasses slasher.
I mean, we're already calling it gun glasses
Yes,
slasher.
because that is its true name.
So all the gnomes come to attack him, and he just shoots the generics down like super quick. Just boom.
it's like shooting galleries. You're like boop 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 boop, dead.
Then
Yep.
what happens to the gun?
It just turns into a sword.
Gun just turns into a sword, as the rest of the gnomes, we're going to like mid-level gnomes. We got a mix of super gnomes and putty gnomes, and he's just like slashity slashity slash, and it like turns into like an energy beam weapon,
Mm-hmm.
and just like swoosh.
And he explodes away all those gnomes. And Corey had to pause the episode at this point because we needed to catch up, but something else happened.
You're right. This is the part, because my note for this section is just butt balls.
My note is, oh no, oh no, oh no, butt balls.
Mine is fire cupping butt. So we see the back of the spiky metal Phoenix down, yeah. And they hadn't shown the back of this gnome yet, and it was shocking. How do we
There's 6 red hemispheres.
If anyone has ever seen the result of fire cupping, which is that kind of, I don't know where it originated, but that type of massage where they take the glass balls and heat it up, and then you put it on your back, and then it like sucks the muscles up, and then once they take it off, they're these like big welts, like red welts. It was like that, except the placement was great. 2 on like the mid lower back, 2 giant ones on the shoulder.
Yeah,
Which
the
those
giant
made sense.
shoulders. The giant shoulders are just open in the back, and they're just like these large angry balls.
Yeah, it's like they didn't finish it.
And then the last 2 were just 1 on each butt cheek.
And then there's more of
Yep.
like the Brady rope stuff. That's just like, what?
Going from his front thighs to the back of his
Yeah, there's
thighs?
like a tube connected to his butt. It's
My favorite thing when we paused this was what Kate started saying when she saw the butt balls.
It literally, okay.
you wanted to lance them.
Yes, they looked like giant, so they were red, but then parts of them had like white on them, and I'm
They
like,
just got like highlights,
those are giant pimples.
just ready to go.
They are coming to a head. They are ready to be lanced. And that's all I could think about. The giant shoulder ones looked like big cysts.
We spent a really long time looking at these.
I believe Kate's words were, "I want to pop that one on the left. That one on the right by tomorrow."
That'll come to a head by tomorrow. If you've ever seen r/popping,
No,
this would have been a really good thing for r/popping.
Oh, but like the ones on the shoulders, because looking around from the front, at least one of the ones on the right shoulder acts kind of like a mana ball kind of thing. It's got a symbol in the middle of it, so it is deliberate that these are seen. Like they're meant to be. Someone intended this.
I hate it so much. Oh, and then you know what happens? Explosions everywhere.
Yeah, just like gasoline explosions on a beach.
Yeah, they are fighting. We've got Deep Spectre trying to hit Phoenix down with a sword, and he's blocking, but every time it happens, explosions happen on either side of them that do not seem connected, but are cool.
Deep Spectre is like slashing at his neck and like trying to just jab in there, and they like do a major attack at each other, which causes another explosion and splits them apart.
This is where Deep Spectre is just like, nope, and tosses his sword away. And we start to get lines on the screen like, eyes beyond wide open.
Deep Spectre, Giga Omega Drive.
So he pops his alt.
There's a big explosion after this.
He kicks through Phoenix down.
And you know that this is cool because they close up in on Taco Time who's watching, and he's just like,
Sugoi!
oh.
No, he literally just says, Sugoi!
He's
So
very
cool.
impressed.
I was going to say, what does that mean?
Excellent. Good. Yes. Perfect.
Yes.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Fight is over.
Spectre wins.
Yeah, I was really confused actually because I'm like, did the guy, did he win? Oh, no, he won. Okay.
That's good.
Yep.
Spectre and Pretty Boy and Taco, they're all friends again.
Spectre goes to help Pretty Boy up off the beach. He's like, call me Makoto.
Pretty Boy does call him Makoto, and they hold their hands in that
Friendship.
wait for a while, and then everybody else runs onto the beach.
All the
Onari,
rest of
Akari,
Snapple. The students.
Yeah, the students are there.
Kanen.
QB is not.
Yeah.
Because they do ask where QB is. They don't know about Music Gnome having been with QB.
But Kanen has this rolled up scroll.
And Taco was like, hey, we are amazed that you found us so quickly. They're like, yeah, we were with QB. But then the scroll...
Well, no, we were with QB, and then it cuts back to QB being like, well, we have a thing that we want to do.
That little flashback.
And it shows that
So
they're
good.
like, we would like to travel. And everyone's just kind of stunned.
This is how we're going to get out of our slump. We're going to travel together.
Yeah.
Which I can confirm is a great way to get out of a slump. Go for a trip.
And it shows them departing together.
With giant backpacks.
Well, QB has a giant backpack, and Music Gnome has a suitcase, like a normal person.
And the backpack is like a camping backpack. And it has like stuff hanging off of
It's
it.
got
Like
a lantern.
bowls and utensils.
This is why I'm very excited for this new spin-off show where QB and Music Gnome, we really shouldn't call him Music Gnome. We need to give him a better name.
Yeah.
This show cannot be called QB and Music Gnome Go on Adventures. Music Gnome needs a better name.
Okay. Well, let's go through some music names. Mozart.
Rachmaninoff.
Batch.
Offenbach.
Wait.
George Gershwin.
No, I got it.
George
I got it.
Washington.
I got it. I
George
got it.
Washington.
Moby.
Moby.
Moby. I like
QB and
Moby.
Moby.
QB and Moby. Hit the
It's
road.
cute.
On the road with QB and Moby.
I would watch that show.
QB and Moby go camping.
Would subscribe.
It's a live stream.
Just QB and Moby.
It's a vlog.
Curry at the campsite.
Twitch IRL.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good show.
Okay, so QB and Moby, they leave.
Are doing friendship very well.
Oh God, they're doing
They're
friendship
very
at
good
each
at it.
other and vigorously. And then, okay, so then QB, they're gone, and then QB has his gift for Taco.
QB waves like a handkerchief.
It's like,
Just like,
goodbye. And this gift, okay, it's a rolled up piece of paper, and then it gets handed to Taco, and he opens it, and what's in it?
Friendship.
Friendship is in it.
So much
It's
friendship.
A picture of everyone.
It's
Everyone.
a painting.
A painting of everyone. And it's just like QB's there and he's so happy, and Taco's right in the middle and he's so happy, and Akari's there and she's so happy, and Onari is sitting down beneath the sun meditating, and his head is all effed up
Like
because
Cubist
QB
painting.
painted it.
Pretty Boy and Spectre are
Pretty
in the
Boy and
background.
Spectre are like off to the left, being all dark and mysterious beneath a blood red moon.
Yeah.
And the students.
The students are also just kneeling over by Onari. Like, we didn't see them
Yeah,
until the camera shifted.
I like that we don't see them right away, and we're like, oh, that's so cool. And then the camera panned, and we're like, oh, the students are there too.
Yeah, and Cannon is there.
And everyone's looking at the picture, and they all seem very happy.
It was very, very cute.
This
I
is-
where down best painting ever.
This is
I
where I
want
would
to
have
own it.
where I would have liked the episode to have ended. Like, I know they did like that extra little bit, but as far as I'm concerned, it's like this is where episode ended.
The extra little bit is cut back to the panels floating in space in the prayer room, and the one that was missing comes back. Thus
could've-
implying, I think, that the fight was actually for reals over, and not just that Phoenix Down disappeared.
I straight up could have had the series end. Thanks, Siri. I could have had the series end with the painting. And I would
Yeah.
have been happy. I'm like, I don't care about Taco if he dies or stays alive, whatever.
No.
This-
It ends, and then we just go right into the live stream.
Yes.
QB and Moby on the road
Camping Adventures, Friendship.
to America.
QB and Moby do America.
Uh,
I'm so happy.
An American Tale. Friendship in America.
I hope they come back. I know they don't have to, because this does feel like we're pushing them off because we don't need them
QB
anymore.
and Moby go to Eurovision.
Yes.
Back to Europe.
Absolutely.
No, I mean, they do Eurovision. They represent Gnome World in the Eurovision contest. They have a song, and it's very visually just gripping.
Would subscribe.
Yes. Absolutely. 100%. Fund it.
Kickstart it.
Ship it.
Check out our Patreon. That was a fun episode. I liked that episode.
Yeah.
Again, if the entire series ended right here, right now, I would be happy.
I'd be super... We should just end the podcast. It's over.
I mean, last episode was really kind of creepy with too many latex boys, but this episode was so good with friendship.
And only one latex boy.
That's an okay amount of
With
latex
butt
boys.
pimples.
No.
No, that was different. No, that was. Not
I don't
okay.
like the
no,
butt pimples.
No,
He's dead now.
friendship. I only remember friendship from this episode, Corey. QB and Moby forever.
And Eminem.
Eminem and Onari are good. They can stay. I want Eminem to come back with more, for more Onari moments.
And when Akari saw Taco, and she was like, "Welcome back." Did you see that?
yeah, I saw it. I felt like her moment in the sun was definitely when she slapped Steamy
Oh,
Punk
definitely.
Man.
But like the friendship. I mean, that was a friendship moment where she was a hero to all friends.
Well, yeah, and that's like a very rival moment. Like, I could kind of see maybe Steamy Punk coming around eventually. Not likely, but I could kind of see it.
I don't see Steamy Punk coming around. Sister, yes. Pretty Boy already has.
Eminem, definite redemption arc.
Yeah.
Mhm. No, I expect Steamy Punk to blow up into a million smithereens, but maybe to figure out that she was right.
Steamy Punk and
Just
Brother.
because it happens
You think
now.
he's going to have like a self-sacrifice moment?
No, I just think he's going to die realizing that she was right.
I think he's going to get like a I'm invincible moment,
Mm.
and then hubris.
I don't think that project's going to work out the way he wants it to.
I have no idea what Demi Project is still.
No, it's been happening for
Ever.
episodes.
It
and we still don't know what it
was
is.
an OS, I think.
It was an OS to like take over the world, and it's like once you install it, you now are controlled by it. But
The problem is it's held up with the red tape, because they have to get through the Apple certification program and whatnot.
it's tough.
But I thought they needed the Sky Red stuff to make it work.
But now he's into music.
I have no idea.
And the music is just for the reveal. The music isn't part of the project.
I think the red sky might have been just for the reveal, and he was just doing a test.
But if the music is for the reveal, it means it's still on track.
Yeah. Thank you all for listening
If you liked our podcast, please subscribe.
on YouTube, GhostWatch2016,
And
iTunes, GhostWatch2016,
follow us on
Twitter @GhostWatch2016,
We have a website.
ghostwatch2016.xyz. Please go there and check out the donate button if you like us and would like to throw money in our direction.
We very much appreciate it. And we appreciate all of you listening.
We do not have an Instagram or a Git account or an Elo account
Peach.
or Peach.
Or an ask.fm.
Tinder.
No, I don't
We
think
definitely do not have a Tinder.
QB and Moby might, but not
Mm.
anymore. They don't need it anymore. They got each other.
Plenty offish.
They still have each other. They don't need that.
Okay, QB.
Okay, good night.
Bye.